back to the final episode of Final Fantasy VIII Remastered Commentary Playthrough. Hey guys, it's time, right? We gotta take down Ultimecia and save the world. Here to do it. We've gotten everything this game can offer up to this point. All the cards, all the abilities, the GFs, the weapons, you name it. We got all the quests done, pretty much, with the exception of the card queen, but I wasn't gonna bother with her, and I ended up getting all the cards anyway, so no big deal there. So you want your setup to be like this, or at least similar. Auto haste and auto shell will probably help you more than auto protect, to be honest. Try to hit for max damage, get your HP up to those 9s. Take off any junctions that you don't need. And really, this battle's all about, it's a little bit of luck involvement, because the second phase of this fight, so there's 4 phases total, the second phase, the monster's gonna start blowing away our magic. And it's really random when it happens, so we gotta hope and pray he doesn't blow away, Squall's meteor, because if he does, it's gonna reduce back down to what it would be without meteor being junction in there. Which would be, he still hit pretty hard, thanks to the strength plus 60%. But, we're losing 255. And this is what this dude does. So in that second phase, it's all about getting damage off as quickly as you can. Defend against the really stupid, insta-kills or take my character control away from me type status attacks. And just go in there and have a good time. That's all you can really do. Set your battle menu up just like we had for the Omega fight. Mega Elixirs on top, Holy Wars to make you invincible in case you get in a tight spot. Heroes to make characters invincible, kind of give you one last chance, Elixirs for 1 full heal. And then your Mega Phoenixes in case you lose 2 party members at once, you can revive them. For your magic menu, I have all my guys set up with triple aura, meltdown, and full life. So magic's not going to be too useful here, but we do want to at least maintain our meltdown. You can melt down every single phase of this fight, and it's actually really recommended to do that, because why the hell have we been building up these weapons and our strength if we're not going to use them, right? So just like the entire, castle we've been doing, we're going to melt down everything, and we're going to hit them hard. So that's the setup. That's what we're going with. GFs are not going to help you here. They're good. They're useful for the first phase, but when you get to the second, third, and fourth, they just get blown away. So GFs are no longer, useful in this round. Not that I used them anyway, but I did make a bonus video just to showcase them because I haven't seen them myself in a long time. So it was nice to do that. And then you can consider draw for 1 character, because there's actually a pretty cool draw that's unique to this fight in the final phase. Hopefully I'm able to showcase it, but I hate that final phase. And you want item on everybody. Everybody, absolute mandatory, needs item. So once you're set, the first phase of this fight is kind of annoying because you're going to get thrown into a battle where you don't have control over who's selected in your party. And if, for instance, I get Squall mixed with Renoa or Selphie, I need Selphie and Renoa to die so that they can be what this game calls absorbed in time. A little angel's going to come down and take them away, and then it's going to replace them with another random party member. So hopefully RNG hits me pretty well where I only have to do only 1 party member, because I don't want to get stuck in a fight with Ultimecia where she's just continuously casting Maelstrom on us. But even then, 1 Mega Elixir and it goes away just like that. So hopefully everything works out. Maybe I'll get really lucky for YouTube right now and have Zell, Squall, and Irvine populate instantly. That would be amazing, because I don't like seeing my characters die. But we've done everything we can up to this point. The proof of Omega. Go ahead and I guess I'll show these. Need to go to person, whatever. You can actually get some world lore about you know, these characters and stuff like that. Just a small thing here. My battle report. Obviously, we fought a lot of things. Characters. 4 Squallzel's been knocked down 4 times. I think Irvine had the worst at 6. The girls were just fine, but they're probably about to get their first now. Dia actually has one too. Enemies killed 2. Good job. And then yeah, for GFs, I mean, Shiva has been at 4 since the beginning of the game. So you can see I just don't use them anymore. Alright, so let's end all this. Let's get in there and let's finish this game, right? If you're missing an ability, he'll be like, oh, some of my abilities are still locked, I should go get them. And then you have another chance to run away and go get that done. What are we in? Mortal Kombat, lady? Come on now. Horrible. Alright. So we're going to want to knock down our characters here, unfortunately. Cover cell real quick. So here's a little baby angel's going to come down and swoop up our characters, replace them with another one. Oh my goodness, terrible RNG. Terrible. No, Angela, we don't need help. Kind of interesting that, you know, Questus went down first, and it was Renoa that got picked up. I don't know what that factored into. Alright, so from here, we got, you know, the last party member is going to jump in and it'll be Squall, so we want to melt down Ultimecia, and then just smack the, you know, just smack her up pretty easy. She's going to cast it right back at us, and if it hits us, we actually do want to get rid of that. So, S-Una that. Oh man, she's going nuts right now. Please. So there you go. The game wasn't going to let me get away with it. They wanted me to take an L with everyone. So just get rid of the good stuff on her. She doesn't need it. So that does it for Phase 1. So coming into the Griever fight, if you have a whole bunch of things that went wrong, just use a Mega Elixir here. Oh, there he goes. Okay, confused, not too bad. But now I can get confused if he decides to use it, which is not good. We're gonna melt him down. then you can actually start setting yourself up pretty nicely here. Double, not too bad either. So it's good, 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 good. Just stay on top of the healing. It's the best thing you can do for yourself. And after this Renzo Kukin, you probably want to put a Holy War on because he's going to use a really devastating move after this. Oh wait. Now I hope I can get it off before he does something crazy. Which I'm not going to be able to. Alright, well, I hope we survive this. It's kind of crap that it came after that. Oh, very good. That's why I have Shalon, by the way. Phase 2. Now here we go on Phase 3. What I consider one of the best songs ever, ever made. Ultimecia is junctioning herself within Reaver now. So kind of like a Sephiroth Reborn, you know? Or a Bizarro Sephiroth, if you will. I think we've seen every single one of Squall's like finishing abilities for every Renzo Kukin that he does here. Pretty nice. That's the third phase. Really, really simple, right? Pales in comparison. So fourth phase here. So you can technically say that there's 5 phases to this fight, but that, because it goes so quickly, I don't even consider that part of it. I think it's just, you know, kind of useless to do that. Now we are on phase number 4. Things can go very, very wrong in this part, though, if you're not careful. She's gonna call on a move called Apocalypse that will drain you down to 1 HP. So it's pretty much Heartless Angel, you know, from Final Fantasy VII. And you can be invincible and avoid it, but if it does hit you, just be ready to put a Mega Elixir on instantly, and then you can put another Holy War on or whatever and just kind of avoid that damage. But she loves doing it, like, throughout her turns, so you'll face it quite often. Really, really cool entrance. Always love this. Get Meltdown on her, like, instantly. Honestly, Zell looks like he's about to just take it in one swoop. Man, good stuff. My guy Zell, MVP. Hopefully it hits in one turn. Yay! This fight's essentially over now. She's taking way too much damage. Still some last-ditch efforts here. It's over. So one final Renzokuken to end this thing. I kissed the triggers, oh no. When she's in this mode of talking, just keep attacking. I would have one character in reserve in case your invincibility runs out, and then you can cast your Mega Elixir. So this move, Hell's Judgment, this is what's going to reduce you down to 1 HP. I actually want to redo that because that was terrible. I still missed it though. Yeah, Lionheart, come on. You see that and, you know you're done. There we go. GG. Alright, so there's going to be a lot of scenes in this ending stuff. I'm going to let it play out. Now, I know PlayStation is probably going to cut the recording at some point, because there's, especially in the ending sequence and the credits, the song Eyes on Me is going to play, so, you know, lyrics are being played, so I'm sure that's why they block it. So if there's a giant skip, I'm sorry, nothing I can do about it, but look up the ending to this game or just play it. Hopefully you use this as a guide. I had an amazing time. I'll give my closing comments when this is all wrapped up. So, thank you. Well, PlayStation seems to have taken out the entire final sequence there, which, and, it sucks, but I mean, I have to play by the rules. So it's always a great thing to end, on a note where you love this game, right? This is my favorite game of all time. For some reason, the ending always just keeps hitting me, no matter how much I know how it goes. The music, I mean, I don't know. It does something, right? Now, Final Fantasy VIII is not perfect. There's a lot of story elements that are kind of like, what the heck is going on every now and again, and I mean, for storytelling back in the time frame of 1999 and on, this is what you can expect from these types of games. You know, the turn by turn combat, the ATB system, all of this stuff. This was my introduction into the world of Final Fantasy. You know, Now I've played every single one of them except for the MMOs. I've given 14 a try, um, but for some reason I don't know. I just can't get into those type of things. So my knowledge of the entire series as a whole is pretty good, right? I've platinumed over almost every single one of them except for 9 and 12. 12 is just really annoying because of the Yizamat stuff, and just generally it's just kind of whatever. And then 9 is it's achievable, but I don't know. I like 9, but for some reason, even though like 7, 8, and 9 were made in the same era of the PS1, 9 runs extremely weird. Like, it's just, for me, it's slower, and I could never really get into it. I know 8 is really slow, but it's manageable with the times 3 option here. And then with 9, it's also given that same option too, but I don't know. It's like it's too zippy in times 3 mode, or you put it in regular mode, and I mean, we're moving at a turtle pace. It's horrible. Um, but yeah, my love for this franchise, I mean, it's there. I'm a very well established in these games. I pour my heart into these types of things, and it's really really nice to have seen my first project on YouTube. Being my very favorite game of all time, coming down to pretty much a perfectionist showing here. We had no game overs, which I was expecting one or two at least, and everything worked out. The only thing I probably would redo is the Queen of Cards quest, just to showcase how to do it. I've done it before. I just do not like it. It's just you have to manipulate the Queen's RNG, hunt down all these NPCs who have these random various cards, and you have no idea that where they exist or anything like that. So very obscure. And that was pretty much like the mantra of all of the quests in this game. Some were very straightforward, but then other ones were very fetch questy, or you were just like left in obscurity. And that was the design of making games back then. They wanted you to either buy their strategy guide, if you had a friend with internet or something, or if you had internet yourself, go ahead and use it and see what you could pull up in order to get the things that you needed. But I mean, nobody was ever going to figure out how to use those occult fans on their own. I don't know how you're going to figure out from those 4 magazines. For one, even if you grabbed them all, that you needed like 6 tentacles and 6 remedy pluses and stuff. You know what I mean? Like me at 7 years old, I don't understand none of that. I barely got the grasp of reading stuff before I even worried about all that. So I don't know. I just say thanks for, if you're watching this, I hope you use. I was not intending this to be a guide at all. I just wanted this to be a project that I could immortalize forever on video, because I know time is kind of crunching, right? these games are not aging well anymore. As in, we see in the case of the Final Fantasy VII Remake project. And I'm sure that a lot of these games are going to be remade. I know Square Enix is probably really, really hyped up on this remake train. And I mean, I'm here for it. I got the Pixel remasters, platinumed all of them except for 6, so I'm working on that one right now. But they seem to be really taking this franchise and moving it in another direction, though. We've seen it with all of these types of action games that are coming out for the franchise too. So long gone are the days of the turn by turn, probably the ATB system and stuff like that. It's not appealing for everybody any longer. It used to rule, JRPGs for so long that it has its place among like the us fans, right? The ones who've been there since the very beginning. But right now I think everyone's just really into these action type things, which is great. I mean, I love 16. I love 7 Remake, 7 Rebirth, for what they are. 13 was pretty cool, but you can consider that one kind of ATV and turn by turn as well. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot to these games. This run took me about 41 hours, which is tremendous, actually. I remember I used to spend like 100 hours on this game, just trying to get like 100 of each item and, just playing cards like no other because it's just fun, right? I mean, it's just good old fun. Discovering it seemed like every year I was always discovering, oh, there's this thing you can do in this game. And, until I was able to finally put together a full, masterful walkthrough or playthrough of this game. And for me, it just makes me really happy. So I'm happy with the product. I'm glad that it turned out the way it did. And, I want more adventures to come from this. It's extremely fun to be doing YouTube. Hopefully, I get more viewerships in the future for this type of stuff. I know, like I said, Final Fantasy VIII is a game that was made a long time ago. So probably not one of the best projects to start out with, but this is just the beginning. I play a multitude of games, not just JRPGs or anything like that. I mean, I am all over the place. Anything that's new, I play it. And I don't play primarily just PlayStation. I just figured it's easier just to start here right now since this is where the majority of my stuff's at right now. And being a entry into the content creation world, this is all brand new for me. And I don't know. I'm just really glad this project worked out in the end. I didn't have any hiccups really. I had to do a couple things off camera though because I know from my own personal experience, I've watched other people do videos on this game, and I see that they cut out the grinding sections because that's not appealing to watch. You're doing the same thing over and over again. And what I know is that people want to see the story progress. You want to see action. You want to see things moving on. You don't want to see, oh, okay, we have to fight the same monster 10 times, right? And I think the only thing that I really left in there were the times when I would draw, and I drew 100 of each item because of ×3 option. It works so well in this game. It just cuts that monotony of that you're gonna have to do this. And it's easier just to draw 100 stock items than it is to probably refine them. But I mean, you can play it any way you want. Some people might not like the ×3 option that I used throughout this entire playthrough, but I'm sorry. I've dealt with the slow play style of this game since its inception, and as much as I love it, I want it to be faster. And just for the sake of my time too, I didn't want it to take like a whole month to make one project, because I want to move on to other things, So, and with that, so going into the draw system, I know this game catches a lot of flack for its draw system. Honestly, it's not that bad. It's especially been taken to another level with the times three option. Just turn it on. I don't see times three option is really not no kind of cheat. It just makes things go faster, you know. And it helps people like me who love this game and we want to play it, but we don't want to go through those slow paces every single time, you know. And thank God that they did this remastered stuff because it works out so well and I love it. But you know, with draw, every single time you boot this game up and you play it, I mean, draw to 100, and then when you know exactly what you're looking for, the game just it's easy, you know. And then it's all about the junctioning system. Just play with the system, right? It was back then. It was very hard to understand as a 7-year-old, and you know, as you get older, you kind of like, oh, that's how this worked, you know. And then you end up finding out, like, you know, all these missing GFs I had and all the stuff. I'm able to junction magic into my defense. It's all sorts of stuff going on here, right? Seems intimidating on the front, but honestly, it's one of the easiest systems to use in probably all the Final Fantasy games. Um, the only drawback to that is like, yeah, I guess if you use your magic, there's a penalty, right? They kind of dissuade you from using your magic. And in this playthrough, you saw that I went pure physical with everyone because all of their weapons, you know, and all of the physical damage in this game is excellent, especially when you combine it with the meltdown combo. It's just, you know, it's easy mode. So it's really easy. You know, there was no intention of making this playthrough hard. Yeah, I've done all sorts of playthroughs of this game. You know, I've done low level Squall where I'm running through and I was like a level 10 or something like that to the very end of the game. Um, I've done like base weapons only. And, you know, and you get so tired of doing those kind of playthroughs because I feel like it just sucks the fun away. Challenge runs are okay every now and again. They're probably great for making videos and stuff like that, but that's just not how I enjoy this game, you know. And the expectation for the channel going forward is exactly how I laid it out in the introduction is I'm going to play my games that exact way. I'm going to play it the way that I know how to play it. I'm going to struggle where I'm going to struggle and I'm going to learn, you know. I have played, you know, the Soul series games very, very hard. You know, you're supposed to memorize stuff. And I've platinumed Dark Souls 1, 3. I'm working on, I have an Elden Ring playthrough on Xbox that only requires one more achievement to get 100. And then, you know, I went crazy and got Elden Ring for the PlayStation now. So, you know, I'm working on a platinum for that. So that's what I do. You know, I play games to completion. I want to see as much as the developers wanted to develop in the game. That's what I'm trying to achieve. You know, I want to see every little ounce of what they created in their worlds. And Final Fantasy VIII is literally no exception to that rule. You know, beautiful world. They crafted a great, you know, little love story here with Squall and Renoa. And you know, I guess for the writing at the time, right now in today's world, I guess the writing would not be accepted because everyone's just kind of particular, you know, in their taste nowadays. But back in those times, I mean, 7, 8-year-old me did not care. You know, it was just fun. It was great to play this game back then and get challenged by it. You know, I would always make it to the fourth disc, but I could never beat the final boss because I just wasn't understanding how to junction properly. I was missing GFs, you know, and then fast forward a couple years later, one day I just finally got it and, you know, just kind of woke up and was like, oh, this makes sense here. And then that's when the true, like, you know, gamer aspect really came out of me, I guess. And ever since this game, you know, I just never looked backwards. Fell in love with this entire history of the Final Fantasy franchise, and it bled over into other things, you know, Dragon Quest and Lost Odyssey, you know, things like that. So thanks for being a part of this journey. I had a tremendous time again with Final Fantasy VIII. but I think it's time to put a closing chapter on this. And I'm just praying and hoping that one day they will come out with a remake of this game. Like, I get really giddy and excited when when remake and rebirth were announced, and I can't even imagine what eight would do. So hopefully one day. But thanks, guys, and you have a good one. And stick around for the channel. There's going to be a lot of more uploads as I go on, and hopefully you know, this can be a fun thing for the both of us. So thank you.